minimalist and I shop at Costco. First of all, when I shop at Costco, I'm trying to do it intentionally. I don't buy everything at Costco. I buy things there that we use regularly. I also buy things there that they seem to have good deals on, things like socks, things like toilet paper, staples around the house that I need, but I want to do at a decent price. Now, it does mean sometimes I buy things in kind of bulk, but if I have a home for each item and I have a place to store the extras, I will get it. And the reason why I bring this up is that I think there's a larger issue. I feel like with this channel, I sometimes feel guilt about things like shopping at Costco because I have a minimalist channel. But on top of that, I feel guilt even just as a person, as a woman. I think sometimes women get a lot of decision making put on them, particularly around taking care of the home and how to manage it, where to buy products, how to use them, how to make things function. And it's like, there's no winning. You want to save money, so you should shop somewhere like Costco and not waste money, but you also want to shop intentionally and not buy in bulk because then you have excess around the house. And that's one minor example, but there are all these opposing forces that no matter what you do, you feel guilt. But I think it's because society puts us in a situation where there is no winning, because there are multiple expectations that we're supposed to meet as women that are hard to fulfill all the time. I feel like there is a pressure to have it all together yourself, to be able to manage the entire household yourself, be able to take care of a child yourself. But then you're also supposed to ask for help. If you ask for help and the person doesn't do it right away and takes a while and you need it done and you ask them again, then you're nagging. And also, don't forget, really deep down, you shouldn't be asking for help because you should be doing it all yourself. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic there, but it's a double standard that I think we create for women where it's like you're supposed to manage everything in the home, raise the children, and then you're also supposed to have a job and be contributing financially to the family. And it's so true. Anytime I meet someone new, one of the first questions they ask is, what do you do? So you also have to have a work identity that you can speak to. Obviously, it's totally great to say, I'm a mom, but I do think that sometimes it's hard for people to say that because society expects them to do more. And there's this pressure to be impressive. So for me in my life, I feel like I'm juggling a lot. I feel like I do a lot of the management around the house. And then I also work, and I also have this YouTube channel, and I also take care of my daughter. And I do a lot of the management around our dog Ginger, taking her to the vet, making sure she has her vaccinations and regular checkups. I coordinate my child going to her well visits, where she's going to the doctor regularly. I coordinate any other extra appointments she might need. So it's just like a lot on my plate, and then I feel that pressure to also contribute financially and all of that. And I'm not blaming any one person. I kind of blame society and what they teach women, the expectations they put on women, and what they teach men and the expectations they put on men. Like, I kind of think a lot of men aren't taught very simple things like some of the basics of how to cook, even how to fold a towel or how to do laundry or how to fold sheets or just things like that that men often as children are not taught how to do. Whereas I remember as a kid, my mom literally intentionally teaching me how to do a lot of those household things, how to cook, how to bake, how to deep clean a bathroom, what products to use, how to use them. All of that I was explicitly taught. And how does this relate to my point about Costco? Well, I guess I'm just saying I think a lot of women hold guilt because it's like, you're expected to do everything, but you can never possibly do it right because you're told to do different things and you can't possibly do everything. I'm gonna start to tidy this while I keep talking on this topic because I need to multitask, you know? Part of the issue too is that there is a financial need for women now more so than ever to contribute to the household finances. The situation financially for Americans at least has drastically altered. You know, first of all, there's inflation, of course, but then the cost of medical care, education, especially higher education, housing. Actually, for this video, I looked up a little stat. Let me tell you about it. I looked up what was the average home price in Minneapolis in 1970. And it was about $17,000. That is the equivalent roughly to $139,000 today. Specifically $139,185 Then today in 2025, the average house price in Minneapolis is $312,602. So that is over twice as expensive as what a house was valued at on average in 1970. And again, I want to emphasize that includes inflation. I get that the value of money itself changes over time, but including inflation, it's over twice as expensive, which means it's eating up more of your paycheck, in theory, a higher percentage of your paycheck. Now, that's not just the case for housing, that's the case for medical care, for education, for child care. That's another biggie. Child care prices have gone way up, and really for a lot of everyday goods too. But I think the effect of that is that women are expected to contribute even more. They're still expected, again, on average, stereotypically, but they are still expected to contribute to the house and to make sure it looks good, make sure it's clean, make sure all the products are in the house, that the groceries are shopped for. Now it's more critical on average that women also contribute financially. So that means they need to take on a job, but also still feel emotionally, at least, like they need to fulfill these roles around the house, and roles that sometimes men don't even really know how to do or assume that they're worse at because they've never really tried before. And it honestly feels like the burden of society in some ways is being placed on the shoulders of women. I think it's unfair, and I think I'm saying this not just to complain, although sometimes a little complaining is nice, but I'm saying this because I think it contributes to a lot of guilt for women. Again, I'm speaking in generalities, and there are more complicated factors in this, and gender is also a complex topic in itself. But my point is, quite often women are experiencing more guilt, and I think it's because they are playing a losing game where they can never get on top of all of it and be the perfect everything. And I guess I'm trying to normalize that so that in theory, I can hopefully help you feel a little less guilt or feel a little less self-conscious. Even though I've decluttered a lot and I talk about cleaning house and I talk about organizing and all of that on this channel, sometimes my house is messy. And sometimes I shop at Costco. And sometimes I also don't shop at Costco and spend too much money on something. We're all just doing our best. If you're a woman, or even if you're not a woman or don't identify as a woman and you're someone struggling with managing household tasks and working and being a parent, or just like surviving or navigating an illness or whatever it is that you're dealing with, just know that no one is perfect all the time, because no matter what choices you make, you will be judged for it. You don't have to have it all together. You really, really don't. I said recently I was going to start to do random observations at the end of my videos, just sharing something about my life. But today, instead, I'm just going to keep tidying a little bit and have you watch this dining area transform a little bit, but just know it may get messy again even later today. Life is messy, and you don't have to feel so much guilt. Anyway, there's probably more to tidy around here, but that's all I'm going to share with you for today. But thank you so much for spending this little bit of time with me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!